Hey, Ebony, how you doing? I've got your work up here, um, and I found your writing to be pretty interesting. So I kind of want to address a couple of things here. Smooth Process Magazine basically acts like a blueprint. And that's exactly right. That's why we start the campaign with the magazine ad, and that's why you should always start with the piece that's going to provide the basic template, the basic blueprint. In this regard, it is the magazine ad. So I think that's a smart comment. I think that's a smart and relevant comment. Once I made the changes to my magazine after a few years, it was simple. Cropping the image I used to the ad was not difficult, but I was indecisive how did you crop it for the banner. Absolutely, that's a critical choice. I think every student in the class can identify with that comment. I thought it would be best to showcase the woman in the water since she's kind of the main. Absolutely, I totally agree. She is the focal point. Plus, I did the clipping mask tool initially to crop the woman away from the other photo. I didn't realize that she was your masked image. Um, I mean, it's really a neat configuration, but make sure that you include the PSD in your final submission so I can check the masking on that. But that's a really good idea. I mean, I can't even tell that she doesn't that she's not originally in that image. So that points to excellent execution. Good job there. Back to the writing. I had a lot of space around the headline, so I decided to triple the text. I think that's a mistake. I do. I think one thing that a lot of design students need to really start understanding is the importance of simplicity and the importance of being able to look at a composition and saying that space over there may not have anything into it, but that adds to the message. It's kind of like the relationship between silence to sound in music. Silence, moments of silence in a song are every bit as impactful as the moments of sound. So we can definitely use that principle in design. So something like this, just because that's what I consider overkill. I think this is in what the industry we call visual clutter, and basically it means there's just too many design elements converging on one point, and it creates a little bit of confusion. I think this is a great example of that. Okay, so explore relaxation. That's your headline. Technically, that should be an Arial bold, not Arial bold italic. So keep that in mind. Okay, back to your writing. It was effective. Bad. I had no problems maintaining it. Animating call to action was fun to learn. Okay, excellent. Let's go ahead and jump over here. Let me just bring this into the window so we can see the whole thing. Now, excellent. Yes, your animation works great. Good job there. That's fantastic. Um, I think one thing that we can do here well, let me see. Make sure that everything is required here. So if that's your mass image, that's included. Background image, excellent. Got your type. Don't forget to change the style on that to Arial bold, not Arial bold, italic. You've got your call to action set in presumably Arial regular all cap. That's fine. Logo. We need the location somewhere. Even maybe I'm up here located in beautiful U.S. Virgin Islands or located in the U.S. Caribbean, something like that, right? And then, yeah, so other than that, I think we're looking fantastic. Now, one thing I think that I can comment on here is specifically sans the image, everything is really super monochromatic. I think we can add some contrast in here. My recommendation is to do this. Use the logo, the main logo. Let me show you which one I'm talking about. I should have had this open, but this will take a second. So let's see. Let's open this guy right here. Okay, wow, that was quick. I would use this logo right here. It's going to add some color. Then you can take that color, some of the color, and you can incorporate in your text. So you can use maybe cyan, that cyan color for your text over here. See how that works. And then also you can add further contrast into the composition by incorporating some of the colors from this logo here. If you don't like that logo, maybe try this one. Because it does have a lot of contrast. And the problem with this logo, there's no problem. It's a good logo. It's a great variation of the logo. However, but if you're going to sample color out of this logo and use it with white, you're going to fall into this monochromatic and kind of lacking contrast. So if you want to keep this logo, my recommendation would be to incorporate maybe that dark purple into the type, or I think it would be great to use this logo and to start incorporating some of those colors into the composition. Okay, so I believe that's it. Those are my recommendations. Now, in the course announcements, I did recommend that students place their magazine ad along with their GIF in this assignment so that we can check for adaptation. Unfortunately, I don't see your magazine ad submitted here, so I cannot comment in that regard. Moving forward, let's go ahead and make those changes. And I'd like to see those changes reflected in your final submission coming up quickly here, quickly in week 7. I mean, just a couple of days before we have to submit the final campaign. Plus, you're going to be working on final project part 2. So let's go ahead and wrap this up as expeditiously as possible. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. I'll be glad to make any additional recommendations or clarify anything I've said in the last 5.5 minutes or so. Sound good? All right. So, Ebony, thank you very much. And again, the most important thing at this point is to get with me if you have any questions. All right, great start. Thank you so much for sharing.